BYD just pulled off what Tesla can't match. Imagine driving over 2,000 kilometers without stopping for gas or a recharge, or using just 2.9 liters per 100 kilometers when the battery runs low. That's what BYD's fifth-generation hybrid engine can pull off, a feat other EVs can only dream of. This is a breakthrough engine that could completely upend the EV game. So what exactly did BYD just unleash? Let's start with the heart of it all, the new engine reveal that's making even Tesla look over its shoulder. What are you doing differently that Tesla is not doing? We have more models, so just a very simple example, we have 7 to 9 models. BYD's breakthrough is the leap no one expected. BYD has just unveiled 2 new models, the Seal 06 DMI crossover and the Chinel DMI sedan. Behind their sleek designs lies a technology that could upend the entire EV industry. What makes them different isn't simply looks or comfort, it's what powers them. Hidden under the hood is BYD's fifth-generation plug-in hybrid system, a leap so significant that industry leaders were left stunned. When it comes to range, Tesla has long been the benchmark. Its Model S long range pushes around 650 kilometers on a single charge. Lucid went further with the Air, stretching close to 800 kilometers. Most mainstream EVs range between 300 and 500 kilometers before a recharge. For years, that was the ceiling. The numbers are impressive but still limited. Then BYD dropped its figure, 2,100 kilometers on one tank of fuel and a single charge, more than double Tesla, and nearly triple what most EVs can achieve. In that instant, the entire idea of range anxiety felt outdated, and every competitor's proudest achievement suddenly looked small. Wang Chuanfu, BYD's CEO, explains why this is no ordinary hybrid. Traditional hybrids constantly switch between the gasoline engine and the electric motor, each fighting for dominance. BYD's system flips the script. The electric motor handles nearly 90% of daily driving, while the gasoline engine stays idle until it is truly needed, stepping in only on long journeys. And when it does activate, the efficiency is staggering. The engine consumes just 2.9 liters per 100 kilometers. Compare that to a standard gasoline car that burns 8 or 9 liters for the same distance, and the scale of BYD's leap forward becomes clear. It is quiet, efficient, and relentless in its challenge to the old standard. Wang doesn't stop at the headline numbers. He actually walks the audience through the obsessive engineering behind the system, like more than 240 combustion experiments, each one refining how the engine squeezes every single drop of fuel. The result? A record-breaking 46.06% thermal efficiency. While most engines lose energy as wasted heat, this one captures it as usable power. Over 100 cooling innovations make sure the system stays reliable under real-world conditions. This isn't just some laboratory prototype, it's actually production-ready. And, well, the cars themselves prove it. The Seal 06 is versatile and family-focused, built for those long drives without the headache of constant charging stops. The Chinel is sleek and aerodynamic, and it's equally comfortable on city streets or highways. Both models transition smoothly between pure electric bursts and hybrid endurance, making them super practical for everyday use while, honestly, erasing the fear of running out of charge. And then comes the final twist. Drivers can choose different motor setups depending on their needs, whether they want maximum efficiency or, sharper performance. Suddenly these aren't just cars, they are a statement of flexibility, forcing rivals to rethink their strategies and consumers to rethink what's possible. But how did BYD achieve these numbers that look impossible? The answer is the new motor. If the engine was the spark that stunned the room, the motor options were the twist that no one saw coming. BYD didn't settle for a single setup. They built choice right into the DNA of these cars. 2 motors, 2 personalities, each one changing the way the ride feels under your hands. Take the Seal 06, the crossover built for long weekends and heavy hauls. Its 161 horsepower motor is tuned for efficiency, slipping into motion with smooth acceleration, while keeping energy use razor thin. Then there's the Chinel sedan, sharper and faster, where an upgraded 215 horsepower motor mixes quick city reflexes with highway muscle. But raw horsepower isn't the headline here. What really makes jaws drop is efficiency, 92% system efficiency to be exact. Nearly every bit of power from the battery or tank gets translated into forward motion instead of just bleeding away into wasted heat. That's possible because BYD boosted power density by 70%, packing more punch into the same compact space. This, resulted in instant torque that makes the car feel lighter, sharper, and honestly more eager than you'd expect from something built for marathon range. And, the upgrades go even deeper. Instead of scattering components all over the car, BYD's engineers fused 7 of them, the motor controller, inverter, onboard charger, and more, into one 7-in-1 system. It's cleaner, lighter, and faster, cutting wiring clutter in half and trimming precious weight. The payoff is a powertrain that doesn't stumble between modes. The switch from electric hum to hybrid surge is seamless, almost like the car is, anticipating your moves, learning how you drive and adjusting in real time. Picture this, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 7.3 seconds, enough force to make stoplight launches, well, honestly, addictive, yet all of it happens in near silence. There is no clunky hesitation or second-guessing the pedal, just a smooth surge forward. A contrast to the jerky pull some EVs still struggle with. And here's the catch, you haven't even seen how this motor plugs into the full powertrain. That's where the real disruption begins. This is the powertrain redesign where BYD rips up the old hybrid playbook. Instead of cramming separate parts all over the car, their engineers built a single compact controller that fuses 7 components into one unit. That design is a compact controller that manages everything from power flow to gear shifts with near-surgical precision. And it is shockingly efficient. How efficient? 92%. For context, most hybrid drivetrains barely scrape 70%, and even Toyota's best setups don't come close. At the heart of it sits a dual-clutch transmission paired with a double planetary gear system. That may sound complex, but the effect is simple: seamless driving. You hit the pedal and the switch from electric to gas assist is so smooth you don't notice it. And when torque kicks in, it reaches 325 Newton-meters. It delivers exactly where drivers need it most, like merging onto a busy highway or tackling long uphill stretches. But power alone isn't the story. The 1.5-liter engine has been refined with direct injection and variable valve timing, slashing emissions by 20% compared to rivals. Then there's regenerative braking, which recaptures up to 90% of lost energy during slowdowns. That's a staggering figure when you realize Honda's system tops out around 70%. In practice, this means BYD drivers glide on electric power longer while burning less fuel overall. Adaptive driving modes take it further. The car automatically shifts its strategy based on the road. In stop-and-go traffic, it leans heavily on the battery to stay quiet and efficient. On highways, it blends electric and gas to keep cruising smoothly without draining the pack. Even the battery size has been balanced carefully between 10 and 16 kilowatt-hours, small enough to avoid weighing the car down but strong enough to stretch range far beyond city limits. Line it up against competitors, and the gap is obvious. But hold on to your hat. None of this would matter without the battery holding it all together, and that's where BYD makes its boldest move yet. This is the outstanding Blade battery. Every revolution needs a heart, and for BYD, it beats inside something sharp, slim, and deceptively simple: the Blade battery. At first glance, it looks nothing like the fat cylinders stacked in most EVs. Instead, these cells are stretched out like steel blades slotted edge to edge in a dense pack that wastes no space and instantly cranks energy density up by nearly half compared to standard designs. But it isn't the shape alone that makes jaws drop. It's what happens under pressure. Most batteries run hot, unstable, and all too willing to turn a single fault into a firestorm. The Blade doesn't flinch. At the showcase, BYD's team drove a steel nail clean through one on stage. And guess what? There were no sparks or smoke. The temperature barely twitched. That resilience comes from the chemistry. There is no nickel, cobalt, or manganese, just lithium iron phosphate running cooler, safer, and cheaper without the baggage of conflict mining. And yet, even these aerodynamic tricks are just the prelude, because BYD's next move goes deeper into the very core of how the system thinks. A car that glides through the air is impressive, but BYD knew that wasn't enough. To truly break the game, the machine had to think smarter. Starting from the 7-in-1 powertrain controller, this compact brain replaced a web of separate parts. Instead of juggling inverters, chargers, and motor controls through miles of wiring, everything now runs through a single hub. Half the wiring, less weight, faster response. The car doesn't just move lighter, it reacts sharply. That efficiency stretches further. Every transfer of power, every movement of energy now bleeds less in the process. Add in a small but clever swap, and the old lead-acid starter battery is gone, replaced by a lean lithium iron phosphate unit.